Facebook, and YouTube, but listen to our audio only, where you'll get shows like Cheryl Underwood and Blues Time in the City. You can pick us up at www.kuaw.org or go to the TuneIn app and search KUAW. Listen to us. We're on 24 hours a day. That's KUAW Radio, Kansas City's global community radio station. And this is what you hear every day from noon till 2. Don't miss the Cheryl Underwood Show.
It's the jump off. Welcome to the Cheryl Underwood Show. Hot topics. We discussing anything. It's a go. We going live now. Got a favorite song? Call into the show. Is he ready? Yep. 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
That's what I'm talking about. Cheryl Underwood Radio. It is a great
That's
day.
it.
It's a great day.
Cheryl, I was so excited to see two great stars out here, to come back home. Both are from North Carolina. One is from Fayetteville, and Chris Paul is from the Winston-Salem area. But they came to Fayetteville State at HBCU and marched with the kids to take them to go vote. It was wonderful to see our brothers, encourage people to vote. It's very nice. Very nice.
Fantastic. Vic Frost, you say what?
Anytime a celebrity comes to Fayetteville is a great honor. And especially for this cause. I thought it was absolutely fantastic, and we love that kind of thing here in Fayetteville.
You are listening to KUAW Radio, home of the all-new Jamal Bakes Show, and I'm Jamal Bakes, and thank you so very much for listening to the station bringing you talk, news, entertainment that you won't get anywhere else. KUAWN, of and about our community.
This is comedian Janelle Banks, and you are listening to KUAW, Kansas City.
This weekend on Blues Time in the City.
If you didn't see him, you'd think he was a black dude playing.
That's the late, great Bo Diddley. We went to the Blues Archive Vault and downloaded some Bo. Very interesting what he's talking about this weekend. And Bobby Rush's birthday is Tuesday the 10th. He will perform one of his past performances live this weekend. Join me on Rosina Bailey for Blues Time in the City this weekend right here.
KUAW listeners, this is Carl Boyd for Wave Your Grades, coming to you every Saturday from 1 until...
Oh, I'm on. My bad. My bad, y'all. This is KUAW Knowledge, Understanding, and Wisdom. This is the Truth Be Told with myself, T-Baby. If you have a business or an event you would like sponsor here on KUAW, make sure to email us at KUAW985@gmail.com. You can call in anytime during this live broadcast, 816-599-6893. We are available on the World Wide Web 24/7, www.kuaw.org. If you're watching me live on Facebook, hi. And there are YouTube. I'm sorry, I always forget about YouTube because we're live on YouTube and Facebook. That is KUAW Radio. We are available on TuneIn, Periscope, Instagram, YouTube, KUAW, all the way across the board. Oh, Twitter. I forget about Twitter too sometimes. Twitter. All those social media outlets. We are a listener sponsored station. So at any of those avenues, you can do a love donation. We definitely will appreciate it. Can pull up Facebook? Okay. And we definitely will appreciate it. So I guess we're just gonna get started here. I'm not even gonna lie, I'm not really too prepared with a lot of things to talk about today, but we gonna see how the flow going, keep it rolling. But shout out to the Chiefs. We did get a win going into the bye week this week, and we are 8-1. Just shout out to the Chiefs. I'm excited about the season, the road that we're on, about our players and everything like that. So shout out to them. Got to get that out in there. As well as so everyone know last Tuesday was Election Tuesday. I did a short show just telling people to go vote. I was kind of disappointed in Missouri. I'm not gonna lie. Governor Parsons is still the governor, and I just I don't know. It's such a crazy thing. Like what a lot of things that I have been noticing talking about the election. Trump lost to, even though he ain't ready to accept the fact that he lost. He doing everything in his power to make it to where it's like he did not lose this election. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so one thing though that I have really been going, just kind of back and forth with people regarding the election and everything. And again, y'all know I'm not really big on the presidential side of the election and everything. More so, like I said, Governor Parsons is still governor, here in Missouri or whatever. And I just feel like our local offices and seats are a lot more important and are a lot more or we are a lot more in control of choosing the people that fill those seats. I feel like it's more beneficial for us to pay attention to who fills those seats because that's what makes up, the laws and stuff that we have in our own personal states, as well as the representation that our states have in the House of Representatives and the House and the Senate. Um, and those things are important because we have to understand that there are three branches of government, not just the executive branch. It is not just the president. All these the other branches feed into the laws and everything that get passed and do not get passed as well. We know that was a major problem with when Obama was in office. Just dealing with a Republican Republican House or Republican Senate and stuff like that, and them blocking a lot of the things that he was wanting to do. Um, so we have to pay more attention to those. The whole thing with Missouri, though, Missouri is kind of hard because oh, yeah, they do. They do those voter suppression um antics at the polls and everything like that. So we have to be more aware and more conscious and more educated on our actual rights and what it is that is legal to take place and what is illegal to take place, and how do we defend ourselves, or how do we go about making sure that our rights are exercised during these major or during any election period. But a lot of my issue with Governor Parsons was my main issue with Governor Parsons was wanting to convict 12-year-olds as adults. Um I don't feel like a 12-year-old, when we look at convictions and we look at the system and everything like that, we know that our people are more harmed from the system than anything. We know that our people are more held back from the things that are placed on our record, and you know everything like that. I don't feel like a 12-year-old life should be able to be basically ruined before it even starts. Like you want to convict a 12-year-old as an adult, which means that you can convict a 12-year-old as a felon. When you're convicted as a felon, it's hard to get housing, it's hard to get jobs, it's hard to basically live. That you have this this dark cloud over you everywhere that you go, everything that you try to do. You have this hanging over your head. So we want to start putting this on 12-year-olds, like starting at the age of 12 when they haven't even had the proper time to even establish life. A 12-year-old can't even work. So we want to take away and limit it, the things that they can do at 12 before they're even able to start doing a lot of the things that will hinder. And a lot of people say, well, they know what they're doing and things like that. And then that's when we have to look in. Y'all know I'm real big on accountability and us taking accountability on what it is that is our future generations are doing. And we have to look at the factors of what is going on between where a 12-year-old could commit a crime that would be punishable and tried for that child to be tried as an adult. At 12 years old, you are still under your parents' care. You are still under your parents' supervision. You are still under your parents are still raising you. So all the outside factors that contribute to the things, you got peer pressure, you got music, you got just programming, period. And the things that we have to look at those things to see how would a child even fall into criminal activity where you will want to charge a child as an adult. And I feel like that's important. That's important for us to start looking at. That's important for us to start countering with our programs, with the things that we do in the community, just in our own homes, at schools, the things that the teachers are thinking and are teaching and everything like that. We really have to think about those things. We really have to take accountability, and we really have to um review these aspects of these transgressions that could be committed, and look at the why, and then look for a solution, come up with a solution and be a part of the solution. I just don't feel like the governor of Missouri really cares, about about the people, really, like, about what's going on, about what type of things are contributing to these factors of where our people suffer from PTSD. A lot of things that they see as young children, they it hinders their programming. Has a lot to do with the programming of their mind and the actions and things that they take. You got a lot of peer pressure. You got a lot of people trying to imitate what they see in rap videos, or hearing rap music, or in music, period. I'm not even gonna say just rap, but in music, period, and on TV, in movies, things like that, or whatever. So I just don't think it's fair. When even as a 16-year-old, I don't feel like it's fair for a 16-year-old to be tried as an adult. And then you have the people that like to go, well, if they kill someone, they need to be responsible for what it is that they're doing and everything like that. If a 12-year-old, 13-year-old, I can't even get all the way up into 16 and 17, because that 16, 17, they think they grown, can do whatever they want to do. I don't even see how they get access to the guns that they carry, anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So we have to look at those factors as well. Speaking of guns, there was a release today, and I reposted it on my Facebook page. You guys can follow me on Facebook if you're not familiar with my Facebook. But yeah, I had it on my Facebook page, and it's basically, and I'm gonna go back to it because it's it was a lot of back and forth on this status, and I had just posted it. I was really just posting it just to see, but because it was about I can't, where is it? I'm sorry, y'all. Should have had this together, but let me just find it. I'm sure. Here we go. Okay, so the post was a release from JoeBiden.com. It was like they want to end the online sale of firearms and ammunition. It says Biden will enact a legislation to prohibit all online sales of firearms, ammunition, kits, and gun parts. Okay. And I posted this because I'm like, this is really what we want. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you get a lot of conflicting opinions, really, I guess, regarding this matter. So I want to dig into it because it is one of the major things that with me that I wasn't really for when it comes to the Democrats. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they want us to be one of those countries like where people don't carry guns. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't have guns. I believe it is countries that don't have guns. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They don't have guns or whatever. And so, which is, a lot of people say there's nothing that they can do about it. It's in the Constitution, all this other kind of stuff or whatever. But there's ways to make it harder. So you saying this is fake news? This is on JoeBiden.com. Okay. Well, okay. My engineer said that that's fake news. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but even during like a lot of things that they were going on, or a lot of things that were in preparation for like the election and campaigning and stuff, was a lot around gun control. See, the thing of it is, before Corona, we had not Corona, yeah, coronavirus. Before Corona, I'm thinking before Corona, the thing in America was the mass shootings. We know that there were a lot of mass shootings going on in schools and things like that. And a lot of people feel that prohibiting the sale of guns and things online will somehow help with this situation. And the children committing these mass shootings weren't even of age to purchase a gun, whether it be online, in a store, or anything like that. Like, when you purchase a gun online, you don't gotta, it ain't like you don't gotta fill out no information. It ain't like they just mailed a gun to your house. Like, it still has to be mailed to a store. You still gotta go pick it up. You still gotta go through the background check. Like, you still have to do all these things. So what is, to me, it's an inconvenience of lawfully gun owners. And but okay, so there was a lot of back and forth, you know what I'm saying, about this. And the thing about it was like the again, with the mass shootings and the prohibiting of people feel that shouldn't have guns are able to obtain guns. And they say people with mental health issues, for instance, shouldn't be able to carry guns, which we all suffer from mental health. I just like, we all suffer from mental health issues. Depending on there, you know how many people right now, because of everything that's going on, are dealing with depression, anxiety, all kind of things. Just being locked up in a house, being basically controlled on what it is they can and cannot do. And so yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, I lost my place. I seen a comment and I clicked on it. But yeah, so, and then one comment that really kind of stuck out. Okay, so let me go back to this. I just don't feel that gun control is the answer for the gun violence problems that we feel like we have. There's a lot of people that purchase illegal guns off the street. Now, one thing that I can say that was changed my view kind of on this standpoint was with the gun parts, because I wasn't aware that you could really, if you do enough research, you can buy gun parts and basically put together your own gun. It won't have a serial number or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't think that should be. We do need to regulate that to where that won't happen, or to where that can't happen. I just don't think that people should be able to build their own guns, and but also, y'all know how I'm it's such a bittersweet thing to me, and I'm so like just on the or in the middle about it, just because I feel like if we are unarmed as a people, that allows us to be, especially our people, that allows us to be at the mercy of our government. Right now, we're at the mercy of cops and things right now. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, if you're gonna take the guns from the people, are you gonna take the guns from the cops? Are you gonna is no one gonna be able to carry guns? Like, how is this really gonna work? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not into you taking my gun out of my home to protect my family, when the predators, which right now the times that we in are the cops, are able to do whatever it is that they want to do, and kill and shoot. They walked up in or ran up in Breonna Taylor house shooting guns on or whatever. They tried to charge her boyfriend for shooting back at them, and it's like we're left at the mercy of these people. And I just don't think that that's something that we really want. I don't think that people um really think about that. I don't think that it's something that they really thought about in depth. And it's just not something that I'm with. You know what I'm saying? I no, you need to find another way. You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, I'm not giving up my gun. Like I'm just not. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, there's so many things that goes on. There's so many things that you have to protect yourself from. Right now, we even with this election right now, they technically, I guess they haven't technically called the election or whatever, but it's like when they do, what are we supposed to expect from these Proud Boys and all this other kind of stuff or whatever? All these people, rednecks, that's gonna be mad. You know what I'm saying? That Trump is not in office no more. All the racism that we deal with just on a daily basis, like we should be able to protect ourselves from this. I'm really for the Second Amendment. I really am. And there's not something that's just gonna it's not just something that I can waver on. Another thing that people have brought up, and don't get me wrong, okay. Um, there is a lot of different aspects that go into a lot of different things, and I know I had seen one comment on this status that they were talking about how even if hold on, penalty unlucky. Um, okay. There are a lot of things that other factors that people are saying that they were talking about as far as the Democratic Party goes, and that's another thing that I've been trying to get over, or in the mind of our people, is that we have to get over not giving up my constitutional right ever. I won't let them take it into, or I won't let them make it into a privilege. And see that language right there. See, okay, so there's a lot of things that with that language, but that people just kind of run with. You know what I'm saying? We talk about constitutional rights and things like that or whatever, but it's not really many people that are in the realm of know to where they actually know their constitutional rights. They don't know where they really fit into the Constitution and to be able to exercise those constitutional rights. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people say even with like and it's kind of getting off topic, I'm gonna go back, but even with the driver's license, no, because for real, even with a driver's license, right? People say it is a right to be able to travel, so they can't make you have a license and try to turn it into a privilege. But we know that there's a lot of vehicle incidents. I don't want nobody, personally, I don't want nobody on the road that don't know how to drive. Okay? I don't want them operating a car, a motorcycle, nothing like that. But okay, so, I guess that's right. That is true. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to have a license to have a gun. And I did get a text message today. I don't know who it was from. It was just a random number. It was like a 256 number, something from Washington D.C. Like, get y'all stuff in line because this is about to change. Like the laws of the conceal and carry laws is about to change. I'm about to read the text message. I literally got this text message to my phone today, y'all. Like I really did. It says in a few months, the concealed carry laws will be changing. Get your certificate today and protect your family. Like people are preparing for real because they think that, that this is something. A lot of people say it'll never pass. You know what I'm saying? It'll never pass the House or anything like that or whatever. And it may not, it may not. A lot of everything that the presidents say that they want to come in and do, they don't actually really get to do it because of those other two branches of government. You know what I'm saying? Like those other branches of government hinder a lot of things because of the checks and balance process, that we go in. But again, I want to go back to this because we did just go through an election, and we in another 2 years will be coming up again for certain state positions and everything like that. And then, of course, another 4 years will be coming up again for a presidential election. Our people have to get out of the party aspect of it, being loyal to a party. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that was the problem with Missouri, You have so many, like Missouri is a red state. You know what I'm saying? When you look at the map of Missouri and we look at the previous election, the elections that we just went through or whatever, you see Kansas City, Columbia, and St. Louis were the cities that were blue. Everywhere else was red. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere else in Missouri was red. And is this really people looking into what these people are representing, what these people are trying to put into us, or what these people are trying to make laws and everything like that? Or are we just being loyal to a party? You know what I'm saying? We have to get out of that. I'm an independent voter. I'm going to vote for whoever is best fit for that office, whether they are Republican, Democrat, Green, what's the other one? Liberal. You know what I'm saying? Libertarian, whatever. If they are best fit for that position, then that's who I'm going to vote into that position. We have to get out of this gang banging color wars. You know what I'm saying? This Republican, Democrat. No, that's BS. We need to get out of all that and really research these people that we are putting into office, and really put the people that are in office, no matter what party they represent, and just who's fit, and that's gonna have the best interest of the people in mind. That's gonna do right by the people of the United States. And I feel like that's what we ran into with Missouri, because people not really researching who this governor is and what this governor is trying to do. You're just like, oh, he's Republican, I'm voting for him. You know what I'm saying? But when your 12-year-old commits a crime and then he's locked up and charged with a felony, all I can say is you voted for the man. You know what I'm saying? You voted for the man, that this was his ideal of what should be done. Supreme Court uphold the Constitution. That's why Trump ran to them about the election results, because it does not operate in the realm of the demo system or the democratic system. Electoral red and blue. Man, a lot of people, we like to go throw in the Supreme Court and everything like that. The Supreme Court does not see as many cases as you would think. You know what I'm saying? We say they uphold the Constitution, everything like that. Every judge, every officer, every public servant of the United States is supposed to uphold the Constitution. You know what I'm saying? Like, it shouldn't just be all up on the Supreme Court. Just like when we're thinking about the judges that were on the ballot, for Missouri, it's like we didn't research into these judges of who we should be keeping on the bench, or who we shouldn't keep on the bench, because we're too distracted by the BS of Trump and Biden. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're not even thinking about anything else. You got people that didn't even go vote just because I ain't voting for a president, so I'm not even gonna go vote. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a wrong mindset that we have, and we have to come up out of that. And we see that now with the results of the election of what we're seeing in my state, which is Missouri. And so I just feel like, I pray that we educate ourselves as a people, that our people start educating themselves and making educational logical decisions when we are voting these people in office. You can't get out if you're participating in a democracy, because it's a group majority rule system outside of the Constitution. The Supreme Court only argues constitutional violations. Everything that we go through on a daily basis is a constitutional violation. Somebody denying you a job because of who you are, because of the hue of your skin, that's against the Constitution. It says liberty and prosperity for all. Like, that's against the Constitution. Like, there's everything that we go through on a daily basis. These police killing our men, our children, women, is against the Constitution. Like, they're everything that is a constitutional violations. We can't say that the Supreme Court only sees constitutional violations, because if that's the case, the Supreme Court will be seeing every case that go to trial, because it's all against the Constitution. It's all based off the Constitution, because the Constitution is the law of the land. So it's all constitutional violations. But I digress. On that stage, I'm just saying we need to start educating ourselves and making educational decisions when it comes to these things these people that we are voting in office to represent us, that we are voting in office to have our best interests at mind when it comes to our state and everything like that. And so, like I said, it's just, more so. And I don't want to get into the Trump argument or whatever, because it was just, people don't have, I'm not even going to get into that. I see that comment, but I'm not even going to get into it, because I just, like I said, we have to look at, what it is that is being presented in front of us and make logical decisions based off the information presented, not the propaganda put on by newscasts and news stations, not the propaganda that you see on social media, or, anything like that. Like, none of those type of things really affect the decisions that should affect the decisions that we make when we go into cast these votes, And so, I mean, I personally just hope for the best. I really don't put a lot of thought into it, because it doesn't really affect, my everyday life. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, now it could, if they get in there doing some crazy stuff, it definitely could start affect our everyday life. And then I'm gonna have to figure out how the Constitution tell you to overthrow the government. Okay? Because that's written in the Constitution too. It says for the people. If you're not for the people, you need to be up out. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's gonna take a while for us to really get into a position of where we feel like things are being handled fair, or with fairness, just. One thing I do want to give a shout out to is the mayor of Atlanta. She did her thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, to turn Georgia blue, baby. She did her thing out there in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So that's out there in Georgia. So I just feel like that was a good thing. Granted, I don't really martial law fact is when under occupation. Didn't nobody say anything about martial law? Technically, war set up, just moving around. I'm moving around like we not. I don't know. I ain't talking about martial law or anything like that. They play on our emotions to enact martial law. You know what I'm saying? They want you to be emotional tied to these type of things, so that you have an emotional reaction. And so that way, once things start getting quote unquote out of hand, they can declare martial law, and things like that. And if we fall subject to that, then we just being sheep. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like a lot of people, when it comes to voting and all these type of stuff, they're sheep. They're not really researching these type of things or whatever. They just going with society and what society say that they should be doing, or who they should be voting for, especially for our people. And I'm gonna get into that on the next half of the show, because I do have to go on break. I can't believe it came by that fast. And I said I didn't have nothing to talk about. But yeah, I do gotta take a short break. We gotta get our sponsors in and everything. I ask that you guys bear with me. Take this time to share this video, so that more people can jump on with us when we come back for the second half.
All right, you're listening to KUAW Radio, Kansas City's global community radio station. We don't only bring you videos on Facebook and YouTube, but listen to our audio only, where you'll get shows like Cheryl Underwood and Blues Time in the City. You can pick us up at www.kuaw.org, or go to the TuneIn app and search KUAW. Listen to us. We're on 24 hours a day. That's KUAW Radio, Kansas City's global community radio station. And this is what you hear every day from noon till 2. Don't miss the Cheryl Underwood Show.
It's the jump off. Welcome to the Cheryl Underwood Show. Hot topics. We discussing anything. It's a go. We going live now. Got a favorite song calling to the show. Is he ready? Yeah. 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
That's what I'm talking about. Cheryl Underwood Radio. It is a great
That's
day.
it. Cheryl, I was so excited to see two great stars out here, to come back home. Both are from North Carolina. One is from Fayetteville, and Chris Paul is from the Winston-Salem area. But they came to Fayetteville State at HBCU and marched with the kids to take them to go vote. It was wonderful to see our brothers, encourage people to vote. It's very nice. Very nice.
Fantastic. Vic Frost, you say what?
Anytime a celebrity comes to Fayetteville is a great honor. And especially for this cause. I thought it was absolutely fantastic, and we love that kind of thing here in Fayetteville.
You are listening to KUAW Radio Home of the all-new Jamal Bake Show, and I'm Jamal Bakes, and thank you so very much for listening to the station bringing you talk, news, entertainment that you won't get anywhere else. KUAW in, of, and about our community.
This is comedian Janelle Banks, and you are listening to KUAW, Kansas City.
This weekend on Blues Time in the City.
If you didn't see him, you'd think he was a black dude playing.
That's the late, great Bo Diddley. We went to the Blues Archive Vault and downloaded some Bo. Very interesting what he's talking about this weekend. And Bobby Rush's birthday is Tuesday the 10th. He will perform one of his past performances live this weekend.
Okay, and we're back. I appreciate you guys bearing with us, letting our get our sponsorships out the way. Again, if you have a business or an event that you would like sponsored here on KUAW, make sure to email us at kuaw985@gmail.com. And something that I want to throw in there before I get back to the second half of this show, I forgot to say it at the first half of the show, is that KUAW is powering up for our winter fundraiser. We are having a silent auction coming up December 1st. December 1st, if you have a business and you would like to donate a product or service that best represents your brand, please email us, help us out, support us at kuaw985@gmail.com. You can call us 816-599-6893. Leave a message. We will get back with you. But we just want to help out the community, let people know about the businesses and that support KUAW. Also want to generate some business from our listeners to the businesses in our community. So please donate to our silent auction. Again, a bit or something, certificate, services, a t-shirt, a hat, or something that represents your brand. And so for us to put it up on a website, and again, a silent auction is going on December 1st. So we're very excited. Participation with that auction, whether it's donating something to the silent auction or purchasing something for the silent auction, just make sure to write that in on your calendar. Again, that email is kuaw985@gmail.com. Phone number is scrolling across your screen, but it is 816-599-6893. We can make arrangements for pickup, drop off of any donations to our silent auction. So yeah, make sure help us help you. Okay, so again, so now with second half or whatever, and it's kind of in the same. I know I normally switch it up, kind of like relationship type thing or whatever, which is this kind of gonna go into it. But I just want to talk kind of base. I want to go back on this party type thing or whatever, and how we have been so loyal to these parties, right? And it's crazy because I always, try to look back in history to see when our people really switched from Republicans. You know what I'm saying? Because our people really used to be part of the Republican Party. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, it turned to Democrats, and now most people say that the Democrats are the best party for us and as far as our people. See, my problem with the Democrats is it keeps us in a victimized, handout type of mentality. And I had this conversation earlier on the exact same post when it was about the guns, because they were saying, well, it's not just about the guns, it's the programs, it's the the things that the Democrat Party wants to do to help our people and all this other kind of stuff. Our people need help. We need help. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all they keep saying is we need help. And we need to bridge the gap between the rich and the poor. And everyone needs universal health care. And so, which I'm definitely not against the universal health care, okay? I'm definitely not. I'm not against universal health care. We talked about this before on a previous show, because I do feel that there are people that cannot afford the proper health care that they need. And even as a woman, and my friends, they have children or whatever, and they're just looking at, the type of insurance and stuff that they have. Like, there's two different vaccinations. You have the free vaccinations, and then you have the people with good insurance vaccinations. Well, what's the difference between these vaccinations? You know what I'm saying? Like, we get the lower end of the stick. So if there was universal health care, we wouldn't actually, I would hope that would eliminate, those type of instances, even though y'all know I ain't really with vaccinations anyway, but just for the point of conversation. But there are like people that are kind of get that. Not one time in history has any president or anyone we voted for changed our condition. And see, that's what I'm saying. We're looking for someone else to come and change our condition instead of focusing on changing our conditions for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We're looking for someone else to do it for us. We're looking for someone else to improve our schools and educate our children, or we're looking for someone else to provide us with health care so that we can survive all these diseases that we give ourselves by the food and stuff that we eat, instead of just changing our diet and not eating the stuff that's giving us those things, or simply growing our own food, or our own supermarkets, or regulating the things that our community is intaking, and the conversation that I had earlier was basically, around welfare, right? Section A, food stamps, daycare assistance, all this other kind of stuff or whatever. And my problem with these type of programs is the conditions are that you have to adhere to even receive these services. Okay. Like, for instance, it creates a lot of broken homes. It creates a lot of opportunity for people to just have children that they can't really afford to take care of because they're dependent on the government to take care of them, house them, feed them, everything like that. I know people that have children just to stay on welfare. You know what I'm saying? Like, we look at these Section A waiting lists. You can be on a Section A waiting list for 3 to 5 years in some cities. Is it state or city? I need to look that up. I think it goes by state. No, it goes by city. It has to go by city. So we're looking for these things or whatever, and it creates a security blanket to where we don't really have to get up off our butts and do anything for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're comfortable, if you know that you can pay $100 a month, you got your children here, you're gonna get about $1,400-$1,500 in food stamps, depending on how many children you have. So you're gonna be able to house your food. You're gonna be able to put food in your house. The house, and we out here paying $700-$800 in rent a month. You paying $100 and stuff like that. And most of these people, they're not trying to get no job, because if you get a job and you start making too much, then they're gonna cut your benefits. So you try to stay under a certain level, which is poverty. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it keeps us comfortable in these conditions that we're looking for someone else to change. But you're comfortable in it because of what they're offering you. You're comfortable in making the father of your child not being able to be in the household, being on child support, putting them in this legal slavery system of the prison. You know what I'm saying? Of all these type of things that we do to even acquire these quote unquote programs that are here to help. You know what I'm saying? And then a lot of people say, well, they're supposed to be just stepping stones, but how many people, my thing of it is, if you didn't have that option, what would you do? Prison, you know what I'm saying? Of all these type of things that we do to even acquire these quote unquote programs that are here to help. You know what I'm saying? And then a lot of people say, well, they're supposed to be just in a content mind state to where you're just okay, or you're just comfortable in this level of poverty that we want to close the gap on. And I really don't even understand that sometimes, like, or whatever, because it's like, we want the rich to take care of the poor, when at some point it's like, why? What they can get it just how whoever got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, when we look at the type of things, when we look at the jobs and things like that, we rather go out and look for someone to give us a job, follow them, create a source of income for us to be able to feed ourselves and house ourselves, instead of going out here creating our own, supporting our own people, our own businesses that are owned by us, hiring our own people, creating jobs for our own people, creating generational wealth for our own children, because we're so comfortable and content at this level of poverty. But then you want to go out and vote and say, well, I want someone that's going to help the poor. You need to help yourself. Okay? Like and I hope I don't sound heartless. You know what I'm saying? Because there probably are people out there that really need it. There probably are people out there. I'm not gonna just clump everyone into one category and say that everyone does this, or you know what I'm saying, anything like that or whatever. I'm just saying, if the option was not there, what would you do? You know what I'm saying? What would you have to do? You wouldn't just be sitting up under a bridge. You're going to do whatever it is that you have to do to take care of yourself. But when you have a safety net, you don't think about those type of things. You're content with the level of poverty that you live in. Everything that has us stuck in a low class system is what sustains them. That it is what United States democracy is built on. We can't keep ignoring it. I don't know really know what you mean by that, but I don't think that our people being on Section A and food stamps and all that kind of stuff sustains the government. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that I don't really agree with that. I just feel like it keeps us at a level, or it keeps us in a poor mind state. You know, it's like, and like I said, I don't want to seem heartless or anything like that, but when you too late. My engineer says too late. But I'm just saying, when you have this poor mindset, there's a difference. Like, and that's just like when B. Simone, everybody tried to clown B. Simone because she said she didn't want a man with a 9 to 5 that was just content with working a 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? And I felt her when she said that. You cannot have a poor mind state. You know, and I probably do sound hard when I told the person I was talking to earlier, I said, well, shoot, only the strong survive. I mean, hey, it is what it is. Like, we can't be sitting up here thinking that we are going to just be able to accommodate everyone's mind state in the way that they think or whatever. If they content with living the way that they're living, let them be content with it. If you're not content with it, you're going to do everything it is possibly in your power to get yourself out of those conditions. You know what I mean? People didn't start it from the bottom. Drake made a whole song about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though he didn't start from the bottom, but you know, I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of people that started from the bottom that's not in that same position that they were then. They came up out of those things. We got to create programs to help our children not get sucked up into these systems and everything like that. And when we talk about, you know, like the child support and the food stamps and everything like that, and these broken homes, like I told the guy earlier, it's like men, women too, but as a people, we have to take more responsibility on who we are having children by. You know what I'm saying? We're not even getting to know people enough to really be able to have that type of commitment with someone that it takes to raise a child. You know what I'm saying? For a child to really be successful in what it is that they need to do, or to set them up to have a better lifestyle than they may have been born into. You know, and I feel, you know, and the main thing about it is the Democrats it was really the Democrats that stole these programs from the Black Panther Party. Let's get it clear. You know what I'm saying? When they demolished the black, or whatever they did, demolish the Black Panther Party. You know what I'm saying? They took over these things because the Black Panther Party invented the WIC program. You know what I'm saying? They invented these programs that were helping with housing and education and food, helping everything like that. The government demolished them and then took it over so they can do it on another level for them to have a sense of control over our people. You are never going to be able to get up from under the foot of your oppressor if you're still dependent on your oppressor to clothe you, to feed you, to house you, to educate you. As long as you're dependent on your oppressor to do them, they always going to keep their foot on your neck. And if we don't, we need to get and then you know, it was crazy because he gonna say, well, what would Jesus do? I was like, listen here, okay, we know that if you have a sense of belief behind the prophet named Jesus, called Jesus, named Jesus, whatever, however you want to say it, you know what I'm saying? Jesus was man-made, or love made manifest. You know what I'm saying? Love in human form. I'm not saying that I don't have love for these people at all, because at the end of the day, that's why I do this show, so that we can have conversations, real hard, hard conversations that you may not have anywhere else or whatever, just that could open your mind to think about things and to maybe kind of sway or help your perception change on what it is that how we should be doing and how we should be moving. Because like how the brother stated earlier about we looking for someone else to change our conditions. If we don't change our way of thinking, our conditions will never change. Our conditions are going to be the same that they're always been, and that doesn't matter who's president. We seen that when we thought Obama was going to come in here and just be a whole little savior with a whole lot of change. You know what I'm saying? We are depending on, it's just like it's a whole bunch of BS. You know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of BS, you know, and it's just, if we really thought about it, you know, we would do the work that it takes on our own to change the conditions that we're in. We wouldn't be looking for, and you know, I really just think that a lot of this savior that we are waiting to come and just save us from the conditions that we're in and all this other kind of stuff has a lot to do with Christianity. I'm sorry, I don't want to be speaking, I hate to speak radical, you know what I'm saying, against any organized religion or anything like that or whatever, but I'm just keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? It was like, it's just the ideal of someone coming to save you or to save you from the conditions that you suffer from. You know what I'm saying? Even in slavery, you know, they how would you depend on Jesus is going to come back and he's just in the rapture and we're going to be saved and he's going to come back for his people and all this other kind of stuff or all these other type of things that, and I'm not necessarily going to say it's the Bible because I ain't never really read that in the Bible, but I'm more so saying Christianity in a religion, the way that it's taught. We've always been looking for this outside savior to come save us and not realizing that we have the power to save ourselves, that we have to condition our minds and our thoughts to conduct the reality to save ourselves, so that we're not dependent on someone else to do all these things for us. And because as long as we're dependent on someone else to do all these things for us, they're going to keep dangling the carrot in front of our face. And we just keep running towards this carrot that you can't never catch up with. Like, you can't never catch up with it because it's on a string just dangling in front of your face. It ain't really, it's moving as you move. You know what I'm saying? It's not really anything to it, you know, and then it's just like we follow the people of Georgia's example. We should start to buy land challenge and get 90 to put their stimulus check in hedge fund and buy land and start our own community. That's a good start. I mean, I definitely agree, but I'm a part of Morristown Civil America. We got land. You know what I'm saying? We got land. We got farms. We make food. We got stores. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and then another thing, fear has a lot to do with it as well, because you got a lot of people to say, well, look when we tried to do that. Look what they did. They dropped bombs on us. You know what I'm saying? Does that mean not try again? Sometimes you fail. You know, if someone's always looking to hinder you or keep you down from something or whatever, of course they're going to do whatever they can or in their power to take that type of mindset out of you or to put that fear into you so that you don't try it again. You know what I'm saying? Like, we should have been rebuilt Black Wall Street. That should have been rebuilt. You know what I'm saying? From the moment that it is from the airplanes to the hospitals to the stores, everything, the grocery stores, everything like that. We should have been rebuilding that. As soon as they bombed it, we should have brought it right back up. Like, you're going to have to keep bombing it. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to keep blowing it up because I'm going to keep building it. That's the type of mindset that we have, not to get stuck in fear, not to be hindered by fear of where we're just looking for someone else to do something for us. You know, we have to change that way of thinking. We have to speak on it too. And I'll be having conversations. People be mad. I don't care. You can be mad. At the end of the day, it's truth. You can look it up. You can research it. You can, like, all those type of things or whatever. Truth is truth. Truth does not change. No matter how you feel about it, it ain't gonna change. It's still gonna be true. A lot of people say, oh no, that's your opinion. No, there's a big difference between truth and opinion. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people's opinions can't be backed up by facts. They can't. You know what I'm saying? It's like you ain't gonna be able to find it nowhere. Like, okay, that's how you think. Everybody got an opinion. You know what I'm saying? But when you start really cultivating your mind with knowledge of situations and the conditions and of history, you know, that things that we've been in, I really feel like knowledge of history is important, because if you don't know history, you're bound to repeat it. It's bound to repeat itself. if you don't know what happened so that you know the signs of when it's starting to happen again, you know the signs to prevent it, you know the things to what to do and what not to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like we have to study those type of things or whatever. And I'm true accounts of history, not his story. You know what I'm saying? Not the history that's taught in these public schools. That's like that, man. When they got on there talking about some funding of public schools, man, they need to defund public schools just like they need to defund the police. Okay, they not in there teaching truth. They in there teaching lies. You know, the programming your mind with lies. You know how much stuff I learned in school, and then as an adult, research to find out what's not true. You know, and it's like it's just our own account of it, because you got to look at who wrote this history book. You know what I'm saying? Who wrote those books that are being taught in public schools the way that they're being taught in public schools? We have to look at those type of things. We have to start teaching our teachers. You got to question everything, research everything. I don't care who taught it to you. When I know I was raised a certain way, you know, and it's a lot of times I get into it. Some they say, well, that's just because that's your belief system. No, I speak on things that I research. You know what I'm saying? And even things that I was taught coming up as a child. When I got to an adult, I'm about to research these things. I'm not just about to go off of it because so and so said it or because I've been taught this my whole life. No, I'm gonna research it to see the truth behind it, to see where the facts lie in it. Because when you want to talk to someone about things, you got to be able to come with facts. You got to be able to share sources of where that information came from. You can't just say, oh, that's what so and so told me. No, man knows not by being told. You know what I'm saying? You got to research it for yourself. You got to cultivate your own mind with knowledge. We get into where we're training our children to be YouTube fanatics and social media TikTok fanatics and all this other kind of stuff. No, teach them how to read, how to research things on their own, how to research things that are important to your future prosperity. You know what I'm saying? Like we have to get into those things and really, like I said, sometimes it's just hard truth. And a lot of people don't like to say it. They say the truth hurts and everything like that. The truth only hurts when you don't want to let go of the lie. You know what I'm saying? When you want to hold on to the lie, yeah, the truth hurts. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like somebody playing tug of war with your hands. Just like when you playing tug of war, it hurts when you holding on to that rope and they over there pulling on the other side. That's just like with a lie. You got truth on one side, the lie on the other side. You don't know how to let go. You know, so yeah, it's gonna hurt. But it, like I said, it only hurts when you can't let go of the lie. When you can't understand that, okay, you can't come to terms with, I've been taught a lie. You know what I'm saying? But the thing, a smart person, a wise person is a person that's presented with new information that may go against what they believe, but they're able to change their perspective when presented with actual facts. You know what I'm saying? That's where a lot of our people go wrong. They don't know how to change their perception of their programming or reprogram their mind when they're presented with actual facts. You know, and as far as like these systems and these broken homes and everything like that or whatever, it is proven that we know that these systems coming into play, these government assisted systems coming into play that we're voting on because that's what we feel we need for our people to prosper. You know what I'm saying? But it's a known fact that those things broke up our homes. Those things demolished our families. You know what I'm saying? Not theirs, not the European families, our families. It demolished our families. It put more of our men behind bars in legal slavery. You know what I'm saying? It gave people the thing, it sexualized women to the point where they're not even considering who they're having children by. Oh, dang, I'm out of time, y'all. Okay, goodness gracious. All right, well, I appreciate you guys rocking with me real quick. Just the Holy Covenant of Asiatic Nation. We are the children of one Father, provided for by I'm sorry, let me slow down. You are the children of one Father, provided for by his care, and the breast of one mother had given ye suck. Let the bonds of affection, therefore, unite thee with thy brothers, that peace and happiness may dwell in our Father's house. When you separate in the world, remember the relations that bondeth you to love and unity, and prefer not a stranger before thy own blood. If thy brothers in adversity, assist him. If thy sisters in trouble, forsake her not. So shall the fortunes of thy Father contribute to the support of his whole race. In his care be continued to you all. Oh yeah, my birthday Saturday. Peace.
All right, you're listening to KUAW Radio, Kansas City's global community radio station. We don't only